So you might think the title of this video is completely crazy, but it's really not. The average lifespan of a human right now is 72 years old. Now, by adding in these tiny habits to your life, you'll be able to add 20 years to your life. Let's make your lifespan 92, not 72. These are things that aren't often talked about, but have astronomical benefits. And I also want to say a big thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring this video, but I'll get to them a little later. Okay, so when it comes to our health and really just the big long-term picture, I like to think of our health standing on different pillars, right? And they're standing strong and tall. It's essentially different categories. And when one of those pillars falls down, then we snowball and the others start to fall, everything crumbles. We want to have everything standing strong and tall. You're going to live longer. So I'm going to start with hydration. So hydration is so much more than just drinking a lot of water every single day. Okay, no. You should be drinking water, but the real important thing is to be making sure you're getting enough minerals so that the water actually hydrates you. And so the easiest way, this is something you can do every day, is just take a pinch of salt, mineral sea salt. I can link my favorite below. Put it directly under your tongue, drink some water. Do this a few times a day. This mineral sea salt has all of the minerals that our body is craving. Now, if you exercise a lot or you sweat a lot, then you can actually go in and add some trace minerals to your water. This gives you an extra boost. This is definitely my favorite brand. And then I often talk about magnesium, which is another essential mineral. There's different supplements that I've recommended to you that are capsule form. Well, I recently discovered this magnesium lotion. It's completely unscented. It's a very pure lotion. I love it. With one pump, you get 510 milligrams of magnesium. It's super quick and easy. I just rub it on my arms, my legs. It absorbs quickly. And, you know, minerals are just essential to our bodies functioning properly, but especially when it comes to hydration. So these next two habits actually go hand in hand, but they have to do with hormones. So hormones are another health pillar. When our hormones are out of whack, things are not good. And so we really need to maintain a healthy thyroid because the thyroid gland is what helps to regulate the hormones throughout our whole body. And so the first tiny habit is to simply eat 2 Brazil nuts every single day. This has the correct amount of selenium that you need every day, which is actually another mineral, but selenium is what our thyroid gland needs to stay strong and healthy. If you're a normal person, you can just simply eat 2 Brazil nuts and then you're done. But if you're like me and have terrible teeth, I hate eating nuts. So I actually take a coffee grinder. I'll put Brazil nuts in there. Sometimes I add some other seeds or nuts like pumpkin seeds, almonds, whatever. I blend it all up and it's kind of like this powder and I quickly eat it and I get all of the nutrition like that. Now, what always goes with selenium is iodine. And I talked about this in a recent video, but you could be eating really high sources of selenium, but if your body doesn't have iodine, this is not going to be absorbed by your thyroid. So the easiest way to supplement with iodine, you put 2 drops on your forearm, rub it in. It's going to stain your arm. That stain should last at least 4 to 5 hours. And then you know you have the correct amount of iodine. If it just sucks up that stain in like a half an hour to an hour, then you need to be doing it a little bit more often and do it until the stain lasts 4 to 5 hours. And you can do this every day. It's so good for our thyroid health. Okay, so the next health pillar is definitely nutrition. We all know we need to be eating a lot of whole foods like fruits, vegetables, high quality meats, nuts, seeds, that kind of thing. But for me, where things kind of often go like off track is snacking. And so that's where Thrive Market comes into play. I've been a member of Thrive Market for years, like completely on my own. I have worked with them before, but I love buying healthy snacks there. They are an online-based membership grocery store, so you can get like all the different categories there. But for me, there's so many snacks that I like to buy that are so much healthier than what you can find at most grocery stores. But right now, they're actually having their biggest back to school sale ever, which I can't even believe I'm saying back to school. So many items are 25% off, and they're amazing for packing lunches, like really quick and easy snacks that are very healthy. I will have them linked down below so you can check out a lot of the things that are on sale. But if you go to thrivemarket.com/Shay Whitney, again, it'll be linked below, you can actually save 30% on top of that for your first order and also get a free gift. So here are some things that I often reorder. They'd be great for packing quick school lunches, but also just to have as snacks around your house. So my kids love the fruit snacks, and these are organic. These are so much healthier. They don't use any artificial sweeteners or flavorings. It's all like sweetened with apples and carrots. So this is the Thrive Market brand. This is the Yum Earth brand. Both are really good. And then I actually really like these Mosh protein bars. They taste like cookie dough, and there's only 3 grams of sugar, 12 grams of protein. They're so delicious. There's so much in this box, and I could go on, but one more thing I just wanted to mention, this Boulder Canyon brand, I love their potato chips, and this is actually like a 6-pack where, again, great for school lunches, but my kids just grabbed these, and I feel so much better about me eating these, my family eating these, because they use avocado oil and not seed oil, so it's just so much healthier. So again, I'll have them linked below, but I'm telling you, it's so convenient and quick and easy. They have a buy it again feature where you can just boom, 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 add things that you always repurchase back to your cart. I also love the like sort or like filter feature where I can remove things that have sugar because I'm very anti-sugar. You can narrow things down by things being gluten-free or paleo-friendly. I mean, they have so many different health categories, which again, I really appreciate. Okay, so this next tiny habit is so fascinating. It actually has to do with our balance and flexibility, which is directly tied to our lifespan. Now, this tiny habit is actually a test you can do every day and improve your score. So it's called the Criss-Cross Applesauce Test. And what you wanna do is actually sit down into the crisscross applesauce formation, right, on the floor. And what you need to do is simply stand up without touching the floor at all. Like, don't use your hands. You can't use your forearm, your knees. You just need to stand straight up. If you can do that, you've got a 10 out of 10 score and you're good to go. Now, say you can't do that. Maybe you do need to use your hand or your knee to help you stand up. Every single time you use a body extremity, that's actually -1 point. So maybe you'll end up with a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. It really all just depends. But what's interesting is a study out of Brazil found that anybody who scored less than an 8 out of 10 actually had a 2 to 5 times more chance of dying in the next 6 years, which is crazy. Again, that just proves our balance and our flexibility is extremely important to living, because that test really is just a quick gauge of like how we can handle these daily functional movements. And if we can have like a good sense of balance and muscle strength and that kind of thing, then we'll be able to live longer. Moving along to the dreaded exercise pillar, which is a huge pillar of our health. I want to keep these habits so simple and quick and again, easy, so that you actually do this every day. And so we're gonna kill a lot of birds with one stone, and I'm going to talk again about rebounding. If you only rebound, which is like a mini trampoline, for 2 minutes per day, this is going to elevate your heart rate. It's going to get all of the blood moving through your body. It's also going to clean out and drain out your lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system is basically what clears out all of the toxins in our body. It's not talked about enough. Everyone, talks about our heart and how like that pumps everything through our body, but we need to be pumping our lymphatic system. And so the rebounder, you get some exercise activity, again, it increases our heart rate, but it also flushes out our lymphatic system. It gets everything in our body moving. I made an entire video about all the benefits that happen from only rebounding for 2 minutes a day. So watch that video after this one. This next health pillar has to do with the air that we breathe and really our lungs and like the strength of our lung capacity. This is extremely important. I want to talk about 2 things. I'm going to start with this habit that I do. It's like this fun little game that I play with myself. It's essentially training yourself to hold your breath as long as you can. I'll do this when I'm like sitting on the couch, maybe scrolling on TikTok. I'll do it when I'm like waiting in a waiting room at like a doctor's office or something like that. And you basically just hold your breath as long as you can, and you get better and better and better. I'm up to like a minute and a half. But this actually does so many amazing things for our body. It strengthens our, lung muscles. I like pulled up a whole list of things. It improves our CO2 tolerance. It actually helps to utilize oxygen better. Our body becomes better at pulling out the oxygen that it needs. And oxygen is where our body thrives, okay? Like disease and like bad things and toxins hate oxygen. So we want to flood our body with oxygen. Now, piggybacking off of that, it's really important to be breathing in very deeply outside air. Everyone always talks about, purifying the air in your home, which I've talked about too. Like we need to get rid of the mold. We need to get rid of the formaldehyde and the chemicals. Like a lot of the air we breathe on a daily basis is filled with bad stuff. But if we simply just go outside, now if you live in a city, not so much, but if you can go outside, even be near, the woods or the forest and just breathe in and out very deeply, the air outside is filled with so many nutrients and actually like good bacteria that our lungs and our body can't get anywhere else. So the next habits have to do with the importance of light and dark. Before I get into this, I actually want to tell you a podcast to listen to. You can either listen to it or you could actually watch it on YouTube. This is what the video looks like. That's the thumbnail. It's the channel Diary of a CEO. It's all about the incredible benefits of sunlight, which I've just been preaching over and over on my channel. But guys, just like ignore everything I say. But if you just please do me a solid. Listen to this podcast. It's like mind-blowing, and they back everything up with like specific scientific studies. Like it's seriously fantastic. I learned so much, and I know that the sun is so important to us, but I just want to emphasize that just getting outside every day, getting the full spectrum of the sun is incredibly important to our health. There are so many wavelengths to the sun. There's UVA, UVB, UVC, there's infrared light, there's visible light. I mean, there's so many spectrums, and it's like the only place in the world that you can get this, okay? It's natural. Obviously, it does create vitamin D, but it does so many more things too, like the mitochondria, like deep down into the cells of our body. So if you can just get outside 15, maybe 20 minutes a day, even if it's not sunny outside, a lot of these wavelengths do actually go through the clouds, and it's going to improve our circadian rhythm. It's going to help our mood, our hormones, our eye health. I mean, truly, the list is endless. So in that podcast, I learned it's incredibly important to have a really bright day, but also a very dark night. And so this is a habit that I recently changed in my bedroom as well as my children's bedroom. So you want to sleep as in black darkness as possible. I mean, go to like extreme levels. You need to be completely blacked out, okay? So that will give you a deep sleep. A lot of our alarm clocks are often too bright, so turn that down. If you have like an air filter, you can actually take the lights down or even like tape over the lights. If you have a blind, but maybe your curtains aren't, blackout, or they're not thick enough and you can still see the light shining through in the morning, like you really just need to kind of go crazy with sleeping in complete darkness. Now, the main reason for this is our melatonin production, and even the tiniest, itty-bittiest of light will disrupt our melatonin production at night. And so that is a sleep hormone, and it acts as a powerful antioxidant. Sleep is such a strong pillar. It's when our body heals and regenerates itself, and we need that melatonin. And complete darkness is what allows that to happen. So this next habit might honestly be the best thing you can do for your whole life, but it's also one of the hardest things you can do. And it's just not worrying or having anxiety, which is way harder said than done, but I'm gonna give you a trick. Now, I wanna kind of just set the tone here. So when we worry and have a lot of anxious thoughts, that immediately leads to inflammation in our body. Inflammation then leads to diseases, and then that leads to death. Another kind of like angle that I like to think about, and a lot of you just might ignore this. If you're a Christian though, I find it fascinating. So Proverbs 17:22 says, "A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." Essentially meaning when you are negative and you're worrying and you're just filled with anxious thoughts, like that can literally lead you to death. Whereas when you're joyful and positive, that acts as medicine. That alone can heal your body. And I've just seen so many testimonies and stories of people where they have a terrible disease, but once they stop worrying about it and they fix their nervous system, that's when the healing can actually start. So one of the quickest, easiest ways you can reset your nervous system is to stimulate the vagus nerve, okay? That's the nerve that goes up to like our brain stem. It's directly tied to our nervous system and anxious thoughts and negative thoughts and all of that. And so if you simply hum for 60 seconds, and it sounds weird, but you literally are just like, okay, like it's weird to like do it on camera, but you hum for 60 seconds. Do this every single day. But even if you just like do it like right after this video, you will feel so much calmer. You could even do it when suddenly you're having like a little panic attack or like oh my gosh, I'm so worried about. Stop. Hum for 60 seconds. You will feel a lot better really quick. So to be very honest, I'm incredibly proud of this video. These are easy, tiny habits that you can do every day to live so much longer. So I'll have everything that I talked about linked down below, but don't forget about Thrive Market and their back to school 25% off sale. And then you can get an extra 30% off your first order and a free gift if you go to thrivemarket.com/ShayWhitney. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.